Hey there guys, how's it going? I hope you're all doing well, and today I've got for you a game of Domination on Summit. It do pretty well in it, but I actually more want to use it just as a background for a debate or a topic that I'd like to talk about and discuss with you guys, just to get a bit of community feedback about what you think about it, because it's been something I was considering lately, and that is the idea of realism versus gameplay, or maybe enjoyment or fun in first-person shooter games. You probably could apply this to a few other first-person shooters, although Black Ops is the one that got me thinking about it, and specifically the MPL. The reason being, as you can see from the attachments list on the left hand side of the screen, the MPL has very different attachments to the 7.4U. Not very different. There's a couple that aren't on the MPL, but that happens to be one of my favourite attachments in Black Ops, and that is extended mags. I just love extended mags because I love the idea of not having to reload when you see multiple enemies. You get more chance of getting a spray down, and I just like not having to reload so much. So on pretty much any gun, I like to have extended mags, and I wanted to use the MPL. I'd been using it a bit in zombies. I'd see CNNers using it in their little clan games with quality time with Hutch, and looked like a lot of fun. It looks great with my little emblem on. But to my disappointment, there was no extended mags. I mean, I know there's dual mags, and a lot of people prefer dual mags over extended mags. I'm not one of them. But I suppose that's a bit of a compromise, but it got me thinking, why is this? I mean, I'm presuming, although I don't know anything about guns, all I know about guns is, well, you could write on the back of a stamp everything I know about guns. But I'm presuming it's for realism, because I can't see why extended mags would mean an unbalanced game. I don't think it would be overpowered on the MPL. And you can see the 7.4U there, it's got grenade launcher and all those kind of things, when that's obviously one of the most powerful and most well known to be one of the best guns in Black Ops. So I'm presuming it's because of realism. For example, none of the other submachine guns can have grenade launcher on, at least I don't think so, other than AK-74U. So I mean, Call of Duty is one of these games where it sort of has this, I don't know if veneer is the right word, it kind of has this look of, it goes for realism, but of course there's little twists. I mean, obviously the gameplay isn't realistic because you don't die and then respawn again, and you couldn't actually, you know, run along while getting shot. You know, you can't get shot in the leg with a sniper and just carry on like normal after 10 seconds. So obviously there's going to be lots of things that aren't realistic to make the gameplay fun. But I think with the guns, they try and get as close as possible. Although I've always thought that, you know, recoil in games is a bit ridiculous when compared to real life recoil, with very few exceptions. If anyone's ever shot a gun, I mean, I've only shot a few, but shooting guns in real life and shooting guns in a game is a very different experience. But for me, I don't play games. I mean, specifically, obviously, first-person shooters. I don't play shooter games for the realism experience. I suppose, I don't know, I like the way that it's not completely sci-fi and out there, you know, like a Halo or something where you can jump in the air, stupid, you know, about 20 foot in the air, and you're wearing these space suits and whatever. I suppose I like the army kind of aspect, but for me personally, whether the gun is actually a real life gun, it's completely irrelevant. And I'd like to know what you guys think, because I don't know, I think there is a crowd of people, or at least a substantial amount, that kind of do like the idea that they're using the real life guns from the army. I know especially a lot of people who are really into their gun culture would like that aspect. You have on Machinima Respawn, is it Scotty Johnson and his dad, who's obviously was in the real life army, as if there's a fake army, but he was in the army, so he knows a lot about his guns, and they really enjoy, you know, going shooting the guns, talking about the guns at length. But for me personally, I wouldn't really mind it if Call of Duty went down the route of just having a few guns in there that added something to the game. You know, for me, it's a game. I don't enjoy it because it's real guns. I mean, I enjoy the look because it's real people, and you know, you're not running around as dinosaurs with guns in your hands. I suppose I like the realism in that aspect. You know, you're not on the moon or whatever. It's real in terms of the setting, but in terms of the actual guns, I think that it kind of prohibits the creativity of the creators a little bit. I don't know if it does, but I'm sure they'd probably say that, because there's probably quite a few guns they'd like to put in that they maybe can't because it wouldn't balance well in the game. So personally, I sit on the fence, the side of the fence that says just do guns that are going to be fun. I suppose I wouldn't really like to start seeing laser guns or anything like that, like the kind of guns you get in zombies, like a ray gun in Call of Duty. But maybe some made-up guns, not completely. I mean, yeah, not like ridiculous guns that have ridiculous abilities that wouldn't be able to happen in real life. Like, say, I don't know much about guns or weapons, but I'm guessing that you couldn't have a gun that had that shot a million rounds a second. I know it's a completely random thing to say, but guns that could be made but aren't real. I would like that in the game, because then I also think that means that they could have more guns in the game. And for me, one of the main draws of Call of Duty and the whole Call of Duty series and Black Ops is the customization of your gun and your class. I think that is one of its main successes, especially one of the reasons why it's such a success on YouTube, because you can talk about all the different types of setups you can have and all the different types of things you can run to make the game interesting, customize it and make it your own. I mean, there's other games like say Medal of Honor, for example, and other games like that, although can't actually remember too much about them in detail because I don't play them that much, so they don't have that aspect of coming back, trying out something else, trying out something absurd. I think that's another thing that people really like about the Call of Duty series. I mean, you can you can just make classes up for the fun of it. There's no real advantage, but they're there to do. So for me, if you could add extra guns into that, regardless of the fact they're real, I would find that really enjoyable. I don't know, what do you guys think? Would that be enjoyable for you? Would that kind of stem your enjoyment, if that's the right word? Would that make it not as much as a fun game, knowing that you're playing with guns that you couldn't actually pick up in real life? I mean, a lot of us, especially me, in England, where guns are illegal, apart from sport purposes, I think. You couldn't pick up a lot of these guns anyway, but just to be using guns that aren't in real life. I mean, maybe some people are really into the whole military aspect and the fact that they're using guns that the military use, but I mean, the military would never use guns in this sense, would they? I mean, let's be honest, they don't just go around like basically playing paintball or like laser tag with their actual real life guns, so they don't go around using them like this. So why should we? I mean, they use them in obviously tactical situations and more as a defense, if anything. But I hope you enjoyed the commentary. Be sure to give it a like if you liked it, because I made a little bit of effort with this one, gave a nice little border and everything. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you guys soon.